你知唔知乜嘢係噔噔噔噔噔噔？
咩噔噔噔？
噔噔噔噔噔噔噔，就係 Only you can take me 取世經 Only you 能殺妖精鬼怪 Only you 能保護我，唔使俾啲旁證係精的我，只有你咁勁，就是 Only you。
我真係唔得啦，你唔好再。我睇老闆嚟話你真係。
Hi guys, good evening. To the games explanation. Welcome, Wong. Why are you looking behind? Hi, Wong.
Me?
Hi, Wong. Welcome to the show.
Hi.
We are instantly introducing you inside because hint everybody who are on YouTube, we do have a pre-show today, so you can check out that pre-show segment at some other point. We'll leave it to you guys. But anyway, welcome to Games Expedition Spaced Out, a place where we just sit down, talk random stuff for an hour and a half, and this time around, for the very first time in our history of the show, we have WongTheKongquerer, who is apparently also a magician. He has magicked himself into our show. Hi Wong, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, you know. Obviously, a bit tired, but you know, we move.
Yeah, that's totally fine. I mean, we are all busy people and we get tired here and there, you know. But as long as we can get up and continue on with our lives as usual, you know, we are all good. We're all good. Totally spoken like motivational speaker. But anyway, FP, I have a question to ask you because you made this video, right? Wait, FP, come back, FP, FP.
Hey, FP disappear.
This is a video that you made for Wong, okay?
Do you make him disappear? No.
No disappearing tricks too.
So FP, sorry man. This is a video that you made for Wong, okay? You know, every single time we have a guest, we try to make a intro video for them. And sometimes we sort of like get the joke, we know where it comes from. But this one, for once, in this case, I actually had no idea. And to this day, you haven't yet told me, or Wong, or anybody here, the basis of this particular joke, or this particular thing that you're trying to parody. So, can you like explain yourself, please, FP?
Okay. The first. Okay. There's of course one very simple reason, which probably will answer everything, but it's probably not satisfying enough for you guys. Okay.
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 Yeah, the video that Wong sent me couldn't run on DaVinci, so I improvised. Yeah. I don't know. I couldn't run it on DaVinci. Okay, because I actually went through some of the conversation you did. Like okay, so like when Wong's introduction to us, and also like talking about the ways, and of course one of the topics that we'll be talking about later, which is about lurking on stream.
Ooh,
Yes. So basically, the thing that he told me is, or rather, he told us, is that he likes to create interaction, and he likes to troll. He likes to meme.
Okay.
Yeah, he
Okay.
likes. Yeah, that's where the tongue thing comes in.
Okay.
Only.
we have an insight on FP mind. This kind of
yeah,
activity.
this is the insider jokes of insider jokes, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We are looking inside FP mind how he thinks.
Yeah, I know there's a surgical knife go through. Okay, this is the.
This is where you
This
find
is
the
his front
tongue.
brain. This is your left brain. Then you see the. Every time he hear the tongue, or one part of his brain just moving.
Is this the right one or the left one?
I don't know, man. maybe the left one. Left one is creative, right?
Actually, I don't remember.
I me neither.
It's been a long time since
I can't
talked
remember.
about
I
that
think
one.
left one is creative.
I forgot as well,
Hmm,
but it's fine.
that's
But
fine.
this is fine.
This is
Yeah.
fine. The world was on fire. Anyway,
But
anyway,
yes.
the show is once again not about us this time around. Today the show is about our guest here, Wong the Conqueror, who
Mhm.
himself is a magician.
Uh-huh.
Once in a blue moon he streams, but most of the time he is an active and participating member of the Singaporean streamers community as well. So we are very glad to have him on board and for him to join us in our discussions for later. But for now, today we're going to be finding out a little bit more about who Wong the Conqueror is. So,
Yes.
who
Indeed.
is Wong the Conqueror? Wong, please tell us more about yourself.
Well,
Other than the things that I just said. I put you on the spot.
yeah, as most of you might know, I'm a hobbyist magician and mentalist. Apart from doing that, I've actually been part of the Singapore streamers community for about at least, I think 6 years now. I think
6 years. Damn, that's a long time.
6 years.
yeah. Ever since it was established, not ever since it was established, but almost as like shortly after it was established, I got to know the current founder, the current co-founder, KJ, Captain KJ, and ever since I've been part of the community, and we've been through a lot of different stages in the community, you know, and it's been a interesting, I guess, journey to go through everything. Definitely, it was wasn't expecting the kind of hiccups that we had. I mean, we were expecting hiccups, but definitely not the kind of interesting hiccups that we had. Let's just leave it at that.
Why you had to put it that way?
Yeah, why you have to put it that way? Not everybody's interested.
Okay, so basically, there's a lot of like there's a lot of internal like issues that we went through, and like community issues that we had to like figure out ways on how to fix and everything. And there was an era where it wasn't on Discord and was on somewhere else, then that like it caused a lot of trouble and everything. So yeah.
Well, anyway,
Okay, can I ask one question?
Yep.
So what have you learned from all this trouble? Do you feel that you improve greatly, or like what are the lessons?
I would think that these troubles only serve to make us better. But in a sense, it kind of just reminded us that how little we know about how to build a community. I mean, to this day, I'm telling you now, KJ and me have no idea how to build a community. I've only recently, not recently, but like the recent years, been trying to help KJ more, in terms of helping with the management and everything. And it's been, I've been stressing him a lot on getting things done, because he's not a very, he's motivated, but he's not like motivated to do things. So every time I'm just like, hey, have you done this yet? He's like, yeah, I did. And then he tell me, oh, all this story, what he do. And then the next time I ask him, he's like, oh yeah, they haven't replied me yet. I'm like, but you're supposed to get them to reply you. That's not how this works.
I see.
Yeah.
that's
So I think it's just more of like a
Lack
how
of
much
experience.
how much we have experienced throughout, and then how much have we taken away from that experience. And I think from what I've experienced, and since I was part of the community, is that while our community has grown, we have it grown in size, but it hasn't grown in the way that we wanted it to grow. So we are still looking to improve on certain aspects of our community, and trying to find out different ways to kind of involve more people, so that there could be more traction from outside. Oh, there we go. Immense out again.
Multi disappeared again. We're gonna have minor technical issues for a while. Yeah, just go on.
Yeah, so pretty much about that's more it actually. It's just trying to get better traction from the community because my main role actually in the management is I'm basically a graphics designer for everything. So
Yes, the word of graphic designer.
yeah,
Yes.
I'm a graphics designer for the community. So every poster, almost every event, the posters are. Oh, it used to be done by someone else, but after that person took their leave, I have to replace the role, and I would say that I've been trying to fit in well. I'm trying to fit in better with the role, and I think it's been quite an interesting journey so far. Yeah.
Well, I think as somebody who has helped out the events, you've been doing a mighty fine job so far.
I better hope so. I mean, it's been like being it's quite stressful being a host because you have to watch what you say, but at the same time, I'm not somebody who like actively thinks of what I'm saying, because I just usually say whatever I want. Like the first thing that comes to my mind, I just
Whatever's fun.
let out.
Whatever's fun.
So
And whatever you say
It's
that
so
came to your
fun.
mind had people having fun. At least that is my impression that you had. That's my impression when you were doing hosting last time. You know,
yeah,
was
I
there
guess
taking photos and then like they're entertaining everybody in the room. It's wonderful.
just doing my part.
This guy humble lah. This guy.
Yeah, man.
So what about your work as a magician? Yeah, I know you're a hobbyist magician, but how much have you learned so far?
Actually, I've always been trying to improve myself, but I've kind of like slowed down a bit. I've tried to look towards like improving my magic in terms of like what I perform or what I do. And I think it's difficult because you guys may see me as a very like happy and outgoing person, but I find it very hard to approach people to like ask them something. So for me to have a hobby like this, it makes it very difficult for me to kind of like approach people, because I find it difficult to ask people for something. So it doesn't help that I want to improve my magic, but at the same time, I'm trying to think of
Step up,
step out of my comfort zone of like asking people, and it's been quite difficult. Yeah.
Actually, just now, during your introduction, you mentioned this word, mentalist. Actually, I'm very quite
yes.
unfamiliar with this word.
Okay, so basically,
familiar.
a mentalist is somebody who, in simple terms, is people who read minds.
Oh.
So, but if you want to dive deeper into the meaning, basically is we people who are able to read projected thoughts of certain things. So let's say, for example, if I were to show you a bunch of cards and then I will ask you to think of one of them, because you have that visual image or something, it's easier for people to relate things. So let's say I show a bunch of pictures of maybe animals or something, right? It's easier for people to relate to something that they can see rather than something that they cannot see and they have to visualize in their head.
So in a sense, you are.
So in the sense, is reading thoughts. Yeah.
You're shaping what they are thinking. I suppose.
Yeah.
No, I'm not really
like-
shaping what they're thinking. It's just that I'm kind of like
Guiding
guiding them
train of
to a
thought.
direction, but they are making their own decisions in a sense. Yeah. So let's say, for example, I just show you a bunch of cards. I want you to think of any one of them in your head right now, and then from there we will, go around, and yeah.
Is this similar to like giving you a ink block of pictures and ask you to describe the let's say what do you see in this ink block? So
Oh. Like those image
the-
visual
Oh, no, you're
testing.
talking about like the
What's that called again? Forgot already.
I forgot already. Is it similar to that or is it completely different?
I think it can be related, but not directly.
Okay.
I mean it like because for me what I've always understood about mentalism is that it's easier for people to visualize something than to come out with something off the top of their head. Like if you've seen something before, then you are able to recreate it in your head. If you have never seen something before, it's more difficult to recreate something because you hadn't prior knowledge of what this thing will look like. Even though you might know what an elephant looks like, but you won't know what an elephant actually looks like in a sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I just imagine the elephant in my head.
I mean, yeah, so you can imagine what an elephant looks like, but like it's kind of like different when you actually see an elephant in front of yourself.
Yes, that's very true.
Yeah, that's true.
Umbran said something along the lines of predicting scenarios. Would that be accurate enough?
Predicting scenarios, that is part of what mentalists can do, but it's not a primary thing that a lot of them do. It's more part of the kind of like predicting of results, more so. Kind of like look at you. If I like just look at you and I have a piece of paper with me and be like, okay, I think you're gonna think of this. We'll leave this here for now. Not gonna touch it. What I want you to do is I want you to think of a car, blah blah blah, that kind of thing. It's kind of like predicting what people will end up having or end up reaching to. That's the goal. Yeah.
Something that we
Interesting.
probably got to experience for ourselves to understand.
So it's interpreting the thought.
It's kind of like interpreting. Yeah. For me, it's always been about trying to figure out what the person is thinking, or what part of the image that they're thinking of.
Right.
Yeah.
So this I'm going to read this of going over my head, but who are like I guess magicians you look up to in your training?
Magicians, I will have to say
Magicians or mentalists,
my personal favorite magician, at least like the number one is Liu Qian.
Liu Qian.
Liu Qian. That's why yes. So that the first magician that I actually like really enjoyed watching when I was a kid was Liu Qian. He has that like stupidity, right, of making jokes that are so bad that they're funny. Like you guys all have heard the kind of jokes that he made on his shows, right? Like what happens when I clean this?
For sure.
What happens when I clean this phone?
It's been a long time, so you gotta.
Okay, so Muzi, I ask you, what happens when I clean this phone?
It be clean.
Exactly, that's the kind of stupid joke that he makes. So
okay.
So like he will tell you that, okay, I'm gonna bend the card. You know what happens when I bend the card?
The card gets
The card. Then the people will be like, the card will disappear or something. No. The card will become bent. It's this kind of stupid shit, right? That he gets away with, right? That I'm like, I want to be this person. How do I make stupid jokes like this, right? And get away with it, and then people will laugh at it.
And then while he's actually making the stupid joke, he's actually doing some slit or hair or some shit, and then the magic
while he's
trick
doing some fucking stupid shit.
And then you see on like Taiwanese TV, right? People, you see the audience will get zoomed in, it's like shock face and all that shit. Every single line.
Just my favorite magician to watch as growing up as a kid was Liu Qian.
Yeah, I also watched him a little bit when I was growing up.
I'm not particularly fond of the American magic scene. like David Blaine, David Copperfield,
Chris Angels.
Chris Angels, like Dynamo. A lot of their things, you can tell that they are fake just because of the way that the people are reacting. But at the same time, you can also tell how you can also tell that there are a lot of like backstage preparation for getting this trick to work.
I see,
So
I see.
like if you know how it was done, you know that this is not how it actually looks like if it was to be performed like in real life.
In front of you, lah.
Yeah, in front of you.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
So it's like overdone. Kind of thing.
Over-engineered, yeah.
I won't say it's overdone. I just think that it's kind of like they are trying to hide the method, but at the same time they're trying to show
the magic.
enough that it will engage people.
There's a lot of focus, I suppose, on the spectacle over.
Yeah,
like,
there's a lot of focus on like the big wow moment, like when people have a shock face. A lot of the times in the shows, right, they go through like a few groups of people just to get that shock, because the shock is what most people are going after.
Looking for.
Yeah, like you don't want to see somebody.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, not bad.
Okay, not bad.
Yeah,
Like
their face,
you
right?
want those kind of like. Yeah. So that's the kind of reaction that you want, like you want the kind of like the kind of people who go like scream it and then walk away,
Yes, I totally understand. Like,
so it's kind of just the reaction that they want. Yeah. So they go through a lot of people and they have to like select what kind of footage they want to show on the TV. And it's
TV for you.
Yeah, it's basic TV for you. Yeah.
Yep. And well, magic aside, we know that you are very into this one game, right? This one a first-person shooter game.
Imagine that.
There was more. I mean, there are people who spend their entire lives playing like one single game, so it's totally fair.
Yeah. And also it's game expedition, so
yeah. So tell us more about this game.
So the game that in question is actually Rainbow Six Siege. It's a game that I've been playing since I bought it on Steam in 2016, I think.
7 years, okay.
Yeah, thereabouts. Yeah. It was a game that when I first like saw, I knew that I was gonna get addicted to it, and surely enough, I'm actually very much addicted to the game. It's a very unique game because the reason why it's unique is because it's difficult, and a lot of people kind of they don't really enjoy difficulty in the game. They just want to go in, they want to play, and they want to just be able to shoot shit down and then just run and do whatever they want with their abilities. Like in Valorant.
Instant reward lah.
Instant reward, like kind of like, I press this button, this happens. I press that button, this happens. Okay, I push into side, I press this button, I jump up. Okay, kind of thing. But in Rainbow Six Siege, there's a lot of thinking involved because there are a lot of sounds around you. And this game, I would describe this game as like 3D. Like, just think of it as this way, okay? If you are going through a building, right, you don't normally think about looking up and down, right? Like in Valorant, you don't think about, I have to worry about some guy who is on top of me spraying below me. Or maybe, yeah, sure. You can talk about like, I'm gonna spray from like hell to heaven or something like that,
Yeah.
I mean, if you know the callouts, like what map is it?
It's mostly designed to be a horizontal gameplay.
It's mostly designed to be a horizontal gameplay, yeah. But for Rainbow Six Siege, there are ways of you actually getting on top of your enemies, like from the upper floors, and then shooting them down from the top. So it's kind of like you have to worry about. There's a potential that you have to worry about your vertical, which that's what we call in Rainbow Six vertical, because it's
vertical,
yeah.
literally.
Yeah.
I see.
And apart from that, there's a lot of like abilities that helps to aid in that holding down of your site. So in it's same like Valorant, you have your defenders and you have your attackers, right? Each attacker has their own unique abilities, each defenders have their own unique abilities. And all these abilities, right, they can be mixed and matched to help you bring new and interesting strategies to your gameplay, your mechanic. You can bring a deployable shield, for example. You can bring a bulletproof camera. You can bring barbed wires. You bring proxy mines.
Okay,
These are all things that helps to kind of like it serves to alert you. One thing, it serves to protect you. Like a shield can help to protect you. A proxy mine can alert you if enemy pushing. Barbed wires can alert you if enemies are pushing. Bulletproof cameras can alert you if enemies are pushing. You can see them. These are all things that helps to kind of like makes it easier for you to make a sound judgment. And the only reason why I've always liked Rainbow Six Siege is that even after you're dead, you don't feel useless.
Because of the things that are left behind.
So like if you think about it, right, games like Valorant, like once you die, right, you just tell them where you died, right, and then you're like, I don't need to say anything already because they can handle themselves, right? Like unless they are clueless, right, or maybe I'll tell them, okay, one guy pushing up here, one guy they're planting on side already. You can push them if you want, kind of thing. Like, but in Rainbow Six, because there are cameras around the building. There are maybe you put a bulletproof camera somewhere in the building that the enemy doesn't know about. Or when you're attacking, there are drones placed around the map. There are always ways for you to gain an advantage over your enemy. You can tell your ally, your friend, oh, hey, nobody's on this hallway. Hey, you can push down. Hey, one guy flanking you. Like if you're on the cam, you can tell them all these things. These are all information. You hear any sound, you can tell them. You hear any movement, you can tell them. You see anything, you can tell them. That's all part of the reason why it feels like you are never not making an impact in the game, even when you're dead.
Right.
It's a very unique like gameplay mechanic that I think is lacking in a lot of games where it feels like you're just a one and done character. You go in, you die. Okay, guys, he's right here. He's behind this box somewhere on site. Go have at it. I'm gonna zip my mouth for the rest of the game because I cannot contribute anything further. I damage this person 150. I damage this person 49. The rest is up to you. That kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a very interesting game because of the way that it's structured, and there are many ways to hold different sides. There are many ways to attack different sides, and it's always about thinking ahead, And clutching a game in Rainbow Six just feels very new. Every time you clutch a game, you're like a 1v4 situation, your 1v5 situation, you're like
Clutch moments.
The high is like way higher
the
than
high is just like
other games that you would play, right?
It just feels so different because of how much information you can gain over your enemy, or how little you can gain over your enemy because you have lacked the information. And then when you finally know, when you down to that 1v1 of like a 1v5 clutch, and you get the clutch, you're like,
oh yeah, I can see the I can see the
The-
orgasmic face that Wong is making now.
yeah, you
whenever
just
he
get
make
that
clutches.
like feeling of like you've accomplished something so great, right? That you feel a sense of accomplishment whenever you have that
Oh,
it's
The joy.
yeah. And
The
like-
adrenaline rush.
a lot of people just I said it before, a lot of people think that the game is hard, but the reason why the game is hard is because they are encouraging people to actually learn the game instead of just wanting to go in and play a hard and fast game. There are a lot of people that I know who have played the game for less than like one day, and then they are like, sorry, this game is too hard for me, I don't like it.
I see.
And then they just quit. And then these are the same kind of people, right, who complain that the game is stupid because they think that they cannot play the game because the game is hard. And I think that it's very unfair for them to just try the game for like one day, or like they don't give the game enough chance to, they don't give themselves enough chance to learn how to play the game and how to kind of like shape themselves to understand how this game works. And it's a very unfair thing because it kind of like, it undermines the difficulty of the game. You know, like sure, the game is difficult, but the reason why the game is difficult is because there's a lot of depth to the game, and there's a lot of little intricate things that you need to take note of, like sound cues, stuff like, you know, different angles you need to hold, different positions you need to be in, and there are a lot of little details, right, that if you miss that one detail, it could cost you the entire round, because each character has their own important role to hold. It's not like a game of Valorant where you have 3 sides, you know, one person hold this side, 2 person hold this side, 2 person hold this side. Then, wait, they are pushing this side, everybody rotate. Yeah, all whole kampong rotate, then whole 5 people hold a side. You know, Rainbow Six Siege only has 1 side. Okay, 2 sides technically. And the entire team is holding 2 sides. So that means 5 people, right, are holding 2 sides. Which means that, right, you think about it, right, our distribution of manpower, right, if one person die on the other side, right, somebody has to rotate over. That means left 2 people on the other side. So it's kind of like a whole balancing thing. If you die, you have to think, now this angle is exposed. How are we gonna counter this? This guy can push him from here. Another guy can push him from here. I'm gonna get sandwiched. Okay, I need to move away from this position. It's kind of like it's kind of just like a full visualization of how you gonna like think outside the box. You know, it's a game that I've always, like as I said just now, from the start I knew I was gonna be addicted to the game, and it's been such a great like experience to just learn the game. When I first started, I was like out of my mind. I had like no idea how to play this game. I was doing really stupid shit. I mean, in fact, I'm still doing really stupid shit, not to this day, but I'm doing less stupid shit than I did, or shit that's less stupid than I did like in the past, you know. Among my friends, I'm actually considered the clutch king, because I'm always in these clutch situations, and there's a lot of times where I shouldn't be winning these situations, but I always come out on top. So like it's just the kind of like it's just kind of feeling like that you get whenever you are in a situation like this, you know, in a tough situation, and then, you know, you come out on top, and it's just it's a whole different ball game, you know, whenever you're in a situation like this.
Understandable. Well, I keep seeing a lot of shots to Valorant for some reason.
No, okay, I have to compare it to a certain game. I know. So I don't play CSGO. I played Blackshot back in the day, but not enough to compare it.
Okay, I mean to be fair, it's something that we will definitely be talking about later on in the show. So guys, this is actually a bit of a preface, okay, to later a topic later on. But for now, we have a couple others. Actually, no, we're not going to be talking about that at all. No, we're talking about something else. It's related to Valorant. It's related in a sense, but we're not going to be talking about FPS in general. But either way, we'll be going on to our first actual topic of the night, which I believe Wong is pretty specialized in compared to the rest of us here in the team.
Specialized in.
I mean, if you want to put it that way.
You want to know? You know what I mean. You know what I mean better than. Okay?
I mean, if you want to put it that way.
It's an art. Okay, it's an art. Okay, as to what art it is, I'm talking about. Also, dropping. Thank you for the fat noobs best. No, the guy who likes the fat noobs aren't here though. Anyway. Where was I? Yeah, anyway, as to what that topic is, you'll find out after the break. For now, we'll be heading off to an ad break. We'll be back in 1.5 minutes. So, we'll see you guys in just a little bit. And hello guys, welcome back from our ad break. Hope you guys enjoyed whatever ad there was out there. I, at this point, really don't remember anymore. Nor do I care. But anyway, we are on to our next topic, and it is something that I know I said Wong is pretty specialized at it only because of his role as one of the members of SG streamers, and honestly he does it a lot in my channel as well, but he does a wonderful job at doing this. It's called lurking, and it's what we now call for this topic the magic art of lurking. So for anybody here who is not familiar with what lurking is, actually pretty impossible considering that everyone here watches Twitch. Lurking is the art of, well, it's just saying, oh, hey guys, I got the AFK, I lurk first. So you leave the window open, you might leave the audio on or off, and then you just like go and do your own thing. Is that right? Am I wrong there?
Thereabouts, yeah.
That's about it, right?
Thereabouts.
That's about it. Okay.
So apparently, when we were like discussing what to talk about for this particular show, right? We will talk a little bit about lurking. I realized, hey, actually lurking is an art. You know, it's not just you leave the window open, you send it to mute, and then you go do whatever you want, or leave the window open and you just do whatever you want. You know, there's actually an art to it. So I'm gonna leave it to you guys to talk about it, but I think maybe Wong can perhaps start about, how do you usually lurk?
Well, I mean, back in the day when I was an active moderator for quite a few channels, I used to turn on like 20 tabs and listen out for voices in the stream. So I've learned to kind of recognize like each streamer has a very unique, like certain kind of voice. So I tend to recognize a lot of their voices, and then whenever they get raided or anything, I'm often there to help with the commands and everything. I've since taken a step back from that role, but the skills I've acquired do plays a part, because it kind of helped me to recognize like voices still. So whenever I'm looking in a certain channel, I kind of just have their audio playing, and then when I hear something that I think I can reply to, I just go to that channel or go to that tab on my infinite amount of tabs. Yeah.
Oh my god. So imagine hearing 20 voices, you just like, yeah, I hear something. I want to talk to who to voice it, is it?
Okay, I don't have it as many as I used to, but I definitely still have quite a few that I keep open, even if they are not streaming, so that whenever they are streaming, I just go to that tab and just like refresh it so that it's it shows the stream instead of the homepage, that page then. Yeah.
So so how does lurking, let's say on a more streamer level, right? How does lurking help streamers? And this is for everybody, by the way. You guys can come in and like share your thoughts as well.
I would say lurking is just kind of like I mean, nowadays lurking has become a much more difficult thing because of how, like, I'm not sure if anybody here knows, but Twitch has recently changed the way that lurking works in the servers or something like that. And so it's not what it used to be. When back then you just leave a tab on for anybody and you'll always count as one viewer. Recently they have changed it so that if you're in like you're on one stream, you cannot lurk on another stream, that kind of thing. Like and then I think even more recently they have changed the way that numbers are counted on Twitch. So if you're not an active viewer for like a certain amount of minutes, you're not counted a viewer or something like that.
Yeah, so it becomes an art, right? That's where it becomes an art.
I mean, look, I have a extension that automatically collects my channel points whenever it's available. So I think I would think that it helps to contribute to my my activeness in the chat.
Which as a streamer myself who gets looked by you, it's something I really appreciate. You know, sometimes I say sometimes you just come in and reply me. It's like, bro, you're listening? Damn, I appreciate it. It's really
Yeah,
cool.
it's a very like, you know, sometimes it's just kind of like whenever you think of something to say, you're just like it's like a back of your mind just like has a light bulb. You know, when you hear something, you're like, aha, I can make fun of this. So it happens to a lot of like streamers that I watch sometimes, even to new streamers. So what often what I would do when I'm in a new streamer's channel is that I would just stay in the channel for like a while, and then like when something funny happens or when they say something stupid, I'm like, but are you sure about that?
And then you're like, oh, what did I say?
Then the streamer will be like, what did I say? Right? You know, I don't know. You know, maybe you said something. You know, I'm not one to judge, but yeah, it's just kind of like stupid things that I say, right? That kind of like helps to, like, it helps to make it easier for the streamers to kind of like get to know you better. It's kind of like my way of introducing myself without having to actually introduce myself. And like, I've been around the community for quite a while already, so there are a lot of like, you know, different viewers that like, or usernames that I've seen, you know, floating around every other channel that I go to. And from time to time, you know, there'll be always that streamer that like, hey, you know this person? How do you know this person? You're like, oh, you know,
word of mouth.
well,
man.
I mean,
This man is
Oh,
cool.
I mean, Wong's like everywhere, man.
yeah, so it's like, how do you know this person? I was like, oh, I mean, yeah, I've been on Twitch for like what, 8 years now, so
I heard you maximize your followers list quite a number of times already.
yeah, I've maximized it. Like, I think recently I did it for my third or fourth time already. So if you guys don't know, there's a maximum amount of people that you can follow on Twitch, and the number is 2,000. I hit 2,000 at least 3 to 4 times already. So you guys just imagine how many people I actually follow on a daily basis, like on a regular basis, not daily basis, but regular basis. Yeah, regular basis. You know, like every time there's a new streamer, you know, I just go into their channel. If I like, for me as a lurker or as somebody who enjoys, you know, watching streams and everything, what's important to me is that the streamer is interactive. If I can interact with the streamer, if the streamer, like, you know, kind of is able to accept the kind of stupid shit that I say. You know, I say a lot of stupid shit. Like, I go into the streamer's channel and then I just criticize the gameplay, and then the person is like, but why do you criticize my gameplay? You know, that kind of thing. Like, you know, it's kind of like it's always been part of like a whole thing that I do, where I go into a streamer channel and just like downright talk shit about them. And if they are able to accept it, right, it's kind of like a sign that they are very open to kind of like to
Banter.
for banter,
Right.
you know. I had like back a long time ago, I there was some streamer raided another person, and I went into the channel because I was late to the raid. Okay, let's just put it that way. I was late to the raid, and then I kind of just went into the channel and like, oh, I just came from the raid just now. How you doing? And the person is like, I don't fucking care, man. Like,
Wait,
no, the person
what?
legitimately just said, I don't care. Like,
Did he not even not care about the raid that happened?
no, I don't know if the person even cared about the raid, but I told her I was from the raid. Like, I came from the channel that raided her, or him or her. I can't remember which gender they were. I don't judge.
Usually a correct way to say it these days.
If I
way.
remember correctly, it was a her. From memory, if I remember correctly, it was a her. But it could be a they.
I mean,
I'm not judging.
I mean, these days, if you want to be gender neutral, you say them or they, right? You don't say
Yeah.
him or her.
Either
It
way,
used to
I
be
remember
him.
it was a female. I remember it was a female.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she was like straight up just, I don't care. And at that point, I was like super turned off by it, because firstly, that's not a way to reply to anybody. Like, especially somebody who just came to your chat.
You say turn on.
No, turn
Yeah,
off.
turn
Off,
on.
off, off. He said off.
I had on. Wait. Two
I also turn on.
Two.
I heard off. Okay. I guess everybody here say on. So okay.
Does chat just chat?
Even the-
Did chat say I turn on?
Even chat also
Yes,
says
yes, yes.
they hear on.
Yes.
I mean
Maybe
chat,
maybe my mic is not
specifically
picking up
meaning-
well. You know, maybe I should talk a bit closer. Yeah.
I guess chat like
It's not
specifically
wrong.
meaning font, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, we
I
don't
was really
judge, we
turned
don't
off by it. Like, it was-
Yeah.
It was that one thing that even if like when I was streaming, like when I am streaming, a troll comes to my channel, I'm like, what are you doing here? Like, what's your reason for being here and talking shit about me? You know, I do my best to kind of interact with them, you know, that kind of thing. Like, even if they are, talking shit about me. I recently had a dude who came into my channel, and then he was like, can you hey, we should collab together. I was like, what do you have to offer me that I need to collab with you? And you know what game he told me he played? I can't remember what game he told me he played, but it was some online FPS game with a .io.
Right. .io games. Okay.
Conqueror.
I have no idea what it was, but whatever game it was, he asked me to 1v1 him. And I was like, bruh, if you think you can beat me in a 1v1, you are greatly mistaken. Also, I have no reason to come and collab with you. And then, you know what the best part? He told me he has a YouTube channel. I went to check his YouTube channel, right? He says he's very popular. I went to look at his channel, right? His channel has less than 3 digits.
Yeah, that's still more than mine.
No, I can't remember how many. No, I can't remember how many, but it was definitely less than 3 digits. And his videos, right, are like, I don't know how many views are on each video, but they are like horrible.
Right.
They're like I watched one of his videos like off stream, and it was kind of like that. It's kind of your typical kid, you know. They go and you play a game and they think they're good, and then they record stuff, you know.
I see.
That's how they earn a one view, you know.
Yeah.
It's
From watching their own replays, yeah.
Then the best part was, right, like towards like I spent so much time trolling him, right. And at the end of the day, right, his last message to me, right, was that you're just scared of me. Then he put the N word behind.
Damn.
Oh, report.
Bro, you're Chinese.
Then my moderator was playing games with me at that time, and he was just like straight up me and him were just playing Apex together, and then midway through the because we were still like diving down into the map. Midway through the thing, right, he just like he projected himself back up, and then he was like, okay, hold on a minute. He just all tapped out of the game, and then we were flying towards the end of the map.
Well, it took the time to actually ban the guy while you were descending to the battlefield.
Yeah, we were like deciding where to go, and then he was like, as soon as that guy typed the N word into the chat, right, he was like, okay, go on, give me a second. We just bombed into the end of the map.
That's
Wow.
awesome.
Amazing.
So
Respect.
let me bring
first,
the topic to the other two as well. What is your experience with lurking? Like being lurked and lurking for FP and Musi.
I'm usually okay. I'm not that. Okay, in the past I don't really believe in lurking because of like all the things that Twitch implemented, especially the thing where like only 3 of your tabs count as a view. So to me, it's like I want to make each of these counts, but yet at the same time, unlike a lot of people I know, including Wong also, I cannot stand the amount of like having too many tabs open. Yeah, so for me, I become very like selective, or it's like, oh, okay, today who and who is on, I'll look here, and then another day maybe somebody else, and I try to like pop out as I can. But if I really don't feel like it, right, I will go in, right. I won't even say a single word, and I'll just go do my own stuff. Yeah. No,
Serenity, what's up?
yeah. So it's like how do I put it? Yeah. So one of the things that I realized that it's been ongoing for a lot of channels, and from even from years ago until now, it's been ongoing culture lah. Like like people like to go in, put a lot of command, and then after that, then they just run off. Yeah. This is actually one of the I have small PTSD over this actually.
Oh yeah,
No,
I think
no,
you said it before.
like yeah, I okay, PTSD is exaggeration, but I get very irritated sometimes when people do that, especially when they do that and there's no actual lurking involved.
I actually know how you feel because there has been a handful of viewers, or maybe one or two people, that came in, say hi, run away. Then I reply, then no reply. Then for you,
I have
just a
that.
command,
I have that issue as well. Yeah. I don't like it when I reply to somebody and then they just don't reply.
I
to
know
me.
for you it's a command, right?
No, like they say hi and then they leave. Then okay lah, maybe they don't want to talk to you lah. But people come in purposely do the lurk command. It's like this.
Why say hi?
No,
Run away.
That's why they come in, they do the lurk command, and then they just totally disappear. You know that you know for sure that they are not actually lurking. Because there was like this period of time back then where I think during COVID that time, a lot of people want to start streaming because they have nothing better to do. And it kind of got to a state where people just they do it for the sake of saying of like showing that they are there, kind of thing. Like not in a good sense, but rather doing in the sense to quote unquote network. For me, I mean networking is fine, right? But this is very, very superficial and it's not helping anyone. Even for themselves, it's just creating a very, very bad impression of themselves. I think it's just not right lah.
I understand how you feel there.
But so to be fair, if I really want to look at someone, I don't feel like talking. Okay lah, I don't say anything lah. I don't need to show that I'm there right? Because I go there because I really want to enjoy it or want to use their stream as my background sound. Yeah, or maybe that's just to do a little bit of support here and there. And if possible, of course, if I ever feel like it, I'll just go in, maybe talk to them a bit, try to help them create conversation and stuff. This is something that is actually quite difficult for a lot of streamers, even the newer or even the old time streamer. Yeah. It's always been there's always this difficulty to how to always keep a conversation going. Yeah. People who actually come in and interact with you, those people, to me, I really respect. Yeah, they are the ones who really, really help you to generate actual content. That's how I feel lah. Yeah.
Unless you're a YouTuber, which you have to talk to a camera.
I mean, if you're
that one you have to prepare beforehand already.
Yeah, you already know what you're doing already. So.
I mean, if you're a YouTuber, you pretty much have to go with the flow. You know, whatever happens. You say whatever you want, do whatever stupid shit you want, and then
edit out.
At the end of the day, just edit the entire video and then get it out. It's kind of just like a, you're basically just talking to yourself, enjoying the game for yourself, and then publishing it to the people so that they enjoy the game for themselves as well.
Yeah, but there's a difference though. Sometimes streaming can also have a script. Like you can have a prepared as plan for yourself, But,
I mean, you can, but streaming is kind of like it's kind of like you're actively reacting to it, and then people are seeing this active reaction, and then you're reacting to the people reacting to your reaction.
Rec YouTubers, huh?
It's live interaction, that's why people are very.
3-4 way interaction in that
That's
case.
why people can feel a level of connection because the interactions are actually genuine. You don't have time to prep or act a reaction. So when people do
Depends.
something, whatever you do, right, at least it's not as you don't have the time to prep for it. Being mentally prepared is still another thing. There are certain things that are actually very random. It will definitely catch you off guard on stream.
And that's a skill to actually know how to react to it properly as well. Right. So Musi, what is your experience on lurking?
On lurking, I for the past few months I haven't been lurking. I haven't been on Twitch, so
I mean, you don't have to think about the past few months. You think about the period before the
I
past few
know.
months.
I mean, from last time to now, I'm thinking maybe lurking is not for me already. It's like I get tired from social energy, to be honest. So if I hear too many voices that I like, I'm just like got tired of it. So maybe it's just working things. Anyway, previously, right, we will like probably like FP open up few tabs and then like Wong FP open a few tabs and just like hearing it. Then I will like single out. Sometimes I just like single out one stream just to like listen in and find it interesting, and just like enjoy the vibe. Then if it happened to be like something relatable like what Wong said, I will probably be involved in it. But normally just like pretty chill. Maybe that's why I'm very like if a reactive person is fun to listen to. Maybe that's why I'm like selective on that as well though. Now I understand why my taste.
You see, it's good to talk it out in your brain.
That's why we do this discussion, right? Understand lurking.
Yes.
Let's wrap this up. We have about 5 more minutes. So lurking, good practices. Go.
I think I already mentioned my part already.
Don't say exclamation mark loud. If you want to say, don't say anything.
Man over here doesn't really understand what exactly is lurking. So
what me?
No, I mean wait, bottom corner. Yes, here. There we go.
That's Musi.
Yes, man over here doesn't really understand what lurking is.
Yeah.
So can't really get any tips from him. But I would say that if you are lurking, just let the streamer know. You know, it's better that they know that you're no longer there than them being stupid and calling you back and like, you know, you just disappearing out of nowhere. You know.
Yeah.
Like if you are like, for me, whenever I lurk, I tell them, or if I'm leaving, I'll tell them, you know, I gotta go, but it was good, you know, staying here. Like there are a lot of streamers that I frequent a lot and that I always lurk in, and they know my pattern. They know that I will always say, you know, these things when I leave, and you know, I think deep down everybody appreciates that, you know, you're telling them, oh, you know, I gotta go, but you have fun. You know, whatever you're doing, have fun. And it's important to know that, you know, like, okay, we are one less viewer now, but it's fine. You know, at least I know that this person actually bothered to, you know, reply me and to tell me that, oh, I'm leaving, you know. And I think that's very important. You know, it's kind of like makes you feel good that they actually cared to tell you that they left your channel. Yeah.
Damn. I feel guilty because usually what I do is I go into a person's channel, I like chat a bit, like actually not say hi and run away. It's like chat a bit, and then I just go and do my own thing.
Yeah, that's what I did.
The only time when I say that I'm going off, right, is like when I'm actually going to leave the house. And I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go out for dinner first, or I'm gonna like go off already. I'll see you like if I stay around, I'll be back and I'll see you and all that stuff. Then I'll just leave.
For me, it's kind of just like if you are like I look on a lot of channels, so I just say I'm gonna go lurk. You have fun. Then I go to another channel. So that's basically what I do.
Ah.
And it's kind of just like a habitual thing that I do nowadays, that it's like, why should a streamer not know that you are no longer in a channel? Because I've used to lurk in a lot of like bigger channels, or like smaller channels became bigger. And like personally for me, I prefer to have viewer interaction. Yeah, I prefer to have viewer interaction, and it's more important to me that you are able to interact with people than to have react to the streamer. It's kind of like if I can get a connection with the streamer, the streamer can get to know me, like what kind of person that I am online and stuff like that. I think it's more important as a viewer interacting, because they kind of get to know you from like different perspectives. Yeah. So it's yeah.
No, go on.
So it's kind of like it's always been very important for me to get interactions, which is why when a streamer gets like 70 over viewers, 100 over viewers, you see me just like going from an active viewer to a okay, you are out of the question, go to next person.
It's like, okay, you're good now. You have
you have a stable. You don't need me here.
You're good.
Yeah.
So like I used to lurk in channels like if you know your popular Singaporean Twitch streamers, Clover, Qian, I used to lurk a lot.
Okay.
Qian Yon,
Yep.
Julin,
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
Julin Lau,
Yep.
Bruce Bin.
Right.
I see a community here.
Is there a continuity?
No, okay. So you
some
see you see a very specific group of okay. So
So
like
just,
so yeah, I look in a lot of channels because they have very expressive characteristics. You watch their channels, you know what kind of like characters they are. Like they are very
okay.
expressive. Like Julin, typical loud ass freaking alien.
Okay.
Loud energy, great content to watch.
Okay.
Right. Clover, also another loud ass person.
Okay.
Dad, also another loud person. Okay, Qian maybe not so much, but Qian is kind of like from time to time you should just exclamation mark out of nowhere, and then you just like, hello ma'am, what are you doing? Why is suddenly so shocked? Yeah. Like these streamers are kind of like like I enjoy watching energy, and I'm somebody who feeds off energy. So whenever I feel like sitting down and just enjoying, I kind of like just sit down and feed on their energy, and then I feed my energy back to them, that kind of thing. Yeah. So lurking has always been part of my thing, because it helps to kind of generate new things to for their streamers to talk about, and also it helps to just build rapport with the streamer. And I think that's ultimately what all streamers want to do, to build rapport.
I got a feeling that Wong's like pretty much covered everything already, but FP Musi, do you have anything to say? To add on there? Good practices.
Actually, I agree a lot with what Wong said. Actually, I have a very similar habit with him also. Like when a streamer gets too popular, I just slowly disappear, because
No, it's just very like very weird to be talking, and then the streamer and just nice your message is right here, but then they read the message 3 down below you.
Yeah. Then it's just like zoop, then disappear.
Zoom,
already.
and then like okay, I guess
Too many chat.
Too many.
Yeah.
I see. So good practices.
For me, yeah.
Just make sure you tell communicate the streamer whether or not you're lurking. Try not, I guess for FPs, which is try not to say hi or send a command and then just run away without even saying anything beforehand. Correct?
No. Actually, the part that takes me off is more towards like, why, like, okay. I mean, for you they say hi, they run away. That one, I agree. Also, is kind of annoying, because it's like, why are you talking to me when you have no intention of communicating. That one I understand. But the part where I brought up is more towards like people trying to making small moves and small moves and small lies to in order to give themselves exposure kind of thing.
Oh.
Yeah, because you know for a fact any streamer, any good streamer, if your name is to appear on the chat, they will recognize you. Or at least give you recognition, I mean.
It's in the shout out.
Doesn't have to be shout out, or at least like just talking about you, just mention about your name, and even if they actually know that you're a streamer, right? Most good or decent streamer will give you a shout out, especially like when you're still starting out a smaller community, trying to be friendly with everyone. I mean, that's what smaller the perks of smaller streamer are. This like you actually want to build relationship with people. You actually have the energy and attention for other people, but then these people just come in and they just want to take the energy and attention from you without
without any equal sort of exchange kind of thing, right?
Not say equal sort of exchange. It's like they just want to make use of you, kind of thing. That's the part actually. That's what annoys me. It's not really about the lucking or not. I mean, lucking, of course. We all appreciate. I appreciate luckers a lot as well. In fact, most of my stream is supported by luckers, and I really appreciate
them
it.
Sometimes.
Take a nap. But yeah, I'm just talking about this small group of people. Yeah, and of course, if they really want to grow, they really have to try and create identity for themselves. No matter how many people were to introduce you to people to like their community, right? If you cannot create identity for yourself, right, or impression, there's really no all this work is actually just for nothing lah. Yeah. I think I'll just stop there. Yeah.
Some words from FP. Oh, Mercy? I guess.
Barry Wong, Lurker does not involve yourself any discussion. So how I'm doing is okay.
So he's just lurking in this conversation right now.
Yeah.
Alright, anyway. Sorry guys, anyway, we are actually way out of time already for this particular segment. So I'm gonna call it here, but once again for you guys in chat, sorry, I need to point the camera. For you guys in chat, if you guys wanna like talk a little bit more about this whole lurking thing, feel free to type in the chat. Feel free to approach any of our hosts and guests here after the show and talk to them about it. They'll be perhaps more than willing to discuss with you about the whole concept of lurking. But for now, we're going to go off for a quick break for our third and final topic, and we'll see you guys in just a little bit. Alright, welcome back from our break. And of course, we have one final topic, and this is a topic that is a little bit closer to home, because as you guys might know, and I'm very sure most of you don't know, SEA Games actually recently happened in Singapore. SEA Games. This is home truly. I'm gonna say. Of course, I'm gonna say that. This wall is just typing it right here in the freaking chat. Where I know must be, where my dreams wait for me, and the river always flows. Anyway.
I don't even remember the lyrics.
I'm sorry, I do music.
No, I mean, it's ingrained in our head. Dude.
Yeah, true. Nah, I remember.
It's ingrained in your head, dude. What do you mean? If you are a Singaporean and you don't know the song, you should be a disgrace.
Exactly.
This is like the most iconic one,
Yeah.
I mean, technically, right, school has educated us into this. They brainwash into this song.
Yeah, cannot say that. Cannot say that on national TV. Later,
you cannot say that on TV.
It's just Muzi.
Don't ban GE. Ban this guy.
Ben Muzi.
This guy only.
Anyway, recently SEA Games happened, and I don't know when. I know it was proposed a few years ago, but I don't know when it actually happened. Esports was actually included as part of the SEA Games itinerary.
Esports.
They did consider it a while back, but there's always this debate going on whether esports can it be considered as a sport?
I mean, it is a sport. It's
Yeah,
just not physical, right?
the thing you should be considering is that it's not actually esports in the SEA Games.
Huh?
Huh?
If you've actually like seen the kind of things they are playing, right? They are
Right.
technically not esports.
Oh, right. It's because it's Mobile Legends, right?
No, it's not even Mobile Legends. They're playing some archery game on the phone.
That
Then they're
kind
playing
of
some-
rare.
Candy
Yeah.
Crush tournament.
Oh
Anyone?
my god! I mean, even that is more of a esports than whatever they want to play.
if you guys have like seen the SEA Games, right, and the games that they're playing, they're
Wii
very
Sports.
they are very very questionable sports. Like okay, there is Just Dance, but I highly doubt. Like for me, I think I would consider Just Dance a sport. Sure,
Yeah.
competitive dancing is a sport.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah.
But when you tell me that playing archery in a game is a sport, that's going a bit too far.
Huh. No, that's another topic that we can leave for
Yeah.
another day.
Yeah, that's subjective.
Actually, no, we can bring that in
Everything is
later if you want
subjective.
to. But of course, as Umbran said, SEA Games, SG got their first gold in esports in a Valorant competition, and the question here is, okay, we are not going to be talking about the drama. I know about the drama. Okay,
Yeah, we all know about the
something
drama.
about the bug, something about Indonesia being very salty about it and all that stuff. We don't talk about that. Okay, that one we leave for another. That one we leave for outside of this
I
show.
know it's not
Someone
a topic
else
to
better than
discuss.
us.
Yeah, and anyway,
Yeah.
I have no interest in Valorant. I honestly, as a person who once did esports, it is not something that I really want to talk about too much. What I want to talk about more is about the catalyst, no, about the potential for esports in the future. So Singapore won esports gold, right? So does that mean that now that they have won something like substantial, in esports, do you think that this will be a catalyst for maybe the government or for some big ass names out there to actually come out and really actually support the whole esports scene, like help to promote talents, groom talents, have proper teams management, all this kind of stuff, like like in China or in Korea or any parts of the world with like actual teams and support. So there we go. That's my question, and I'm pretty sure
Who wants to start?
I know my answer. I am not going to say my answer, but what about you guys here? Especially in chat as well. Please go ahead.
Yeah, for me, I honestly think it's not happening, or at least not anytime soon. I've experienced esports in Singapore before. I've talked to the Skoga before.
Okay.
They were talking about some big plan to help
What's
with-
I'm sorry for laughing because that's quite funny.
yeah, talking about Skoga, they have some big plan about we're gonna help esports. Then the Ministry of I don't know what games culture or something. I remember his title, but
Can I ask Soga?
Skoga.
What is Soga?
SCOGA.
SCOGA.
Singapore Culture of Games Association or something like that. I can't remember.
I'm not
So-
gamer. I don't even know there's such a thing.
Okay, so the thing is that
Okay.
like they talk they've been talking about getting esports to fly in Singapore for God knows how long, and for God knows how long it has not flown. So if for God knows how long it has not flown, this small little win in Singapore is not gonna get anything done for esports.
So let me back. Actually, I'm supposed to be neutral here, but let me back a Wong's statement here. So TI1, the international one, Dota 2 competition happened 2011, I believe. Zenith got third place. That is the biggest Dota competition with the biggest prize pool in all of esports at that point in time at about $2 million. Zenith, a Singapore team with Ice inside. You will know Ice is better than Zenith at this point. Got third place. They were featured in one small corner of the newspaper. A few years later, who's that called? Xian. Xian won the Street Fighter 4 tournament the biggest one. I forgot what's the name. Evo, I think. They won Evo.
Yes.
He won Evo with a very honestly a very jank character. I forgot the guy's name as well. It's an old man. But he won with. Sorry.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
I can't remember his name also,
yeah.
so off the top of my head.
Yeah, but you know who I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Right? Yeah,
I know which one you're talking about.
Is the next Singaporean to reach the top level of esports. In terms of his game. And right now he is the face of Razer, and that's pretty much the only reason why is because Razer is technically not really a Singaporean company. It is a US company, just happens to be run by a Singaporean. So that's all you have for when it comes to Singaporeans being successful in esports. So when you talk about opportunities to bring forward esports, right? They had several chances actually. Yeah, Zenith, you can start off with Dota 2 about 12 years ago. They started off with Street Fighter 5 in the FGC, the fighting game scene. With Xian. Apparently, as you can see, despite all the support from everybody around that tries to push it forward, unfortunately, they are not the government, and we are still in this spot.
Yeah, I wanted to bring up one more point.
What?
Last year, Dota biggest tournament in T3 was hosted in Singapore.
Ah, yes.
And what did they do? Nothing.
Well, to be fair, the ice couldn't make it.
No, okay. Even if he did make it, it will not make a difference.
Yeah.
The government is not doing anything for esports, and they are putting a lot of emphasis on, we want to grow our youth, we want to support our youth. Let's not talk about esports. Let's talk about Olympics. Just about Olympics alone.
Just regular sports, right?
Just regular sports alone. There are a lot of Singaporeans who want to become pro, want to go, they want to go to, like play in professional teams, soccer, swimming, I don't know what else. But what does the government do? Oh, sorry, you have to finish your NS before you go. You have to commit to your studies. We don't recognize this as a sport. You're not good enough. What's your reasoning for rejecting all these people of their opportunity? Now you see this. Okay, I'll bring out one guy, Ben Davies. Where is he now?
Ben Davies. Is him right? He's the one who went to Fulham, right?
Yeah, Fulham. Where is he now?
Oh, yeah.
Where is he now?
I don't know where he went.
I don't know. I remember he went to.
Actually, he got to Fulham.
He did. I think he did. Yeah. But where is he now? He's not in Singapore anymore.
Yeah.
If he come back to Singapore,
he'll get arrested.
Yeah.
He defaulted NS to go play
he
football.
defaulted NS. He completely just defaulted NS, and if he comes back to Singapore, he's going to jail.
Yep.
So what? So esports. Just get back to the point. Esports. Is that gonna help with anything? No. You're not even supporting regular sports. Let's not talk about esports.
And esports is like even more accessible,
And
when you talk about development of
everybody is playing
Yeah.
esports.
It's so easy.
Everybody is playing a game.
Yeah, it's so much easier to
Innocently.
develop talent in esports, compared to actual sports. And there's still even then there's no support for it. I hate to say this. I really would love to see somebody be in favor of esports in this conversation here, but I find that it's going to be very difficult.
For me, I had my stand on esports for a very long time. Government is not going to do anything.
And there are a lot of smaller entities, non-governmental entities that see as simply as a way to earn money. So the moment that is your motivation, you already lost the whole game already. Local market is still too small, not exactly financial viable in cost of living. Not enough tournaments.
Not okay. If you want to talk about that, the local market may be small, but local talent is very big. You know how many amount of Singaporeans alone, right, are playing esports titles?
MLB.
How many competitive people, right, are actually creating teams, right, to go into esports? Recently, Valorant had their premiere, right? I don't know what is that thing about, but a lot of kids. Well, I say kids but there are a few people that I know that they joined the premiere. They are joining these tournaments, right, to try to win something. But are they by any means professional? No. They are just people who are enthusiastic about the game. But at the same time, the demand for esports is there. Whether or not is that anything is done to get that demand higher or to improve that demand, that's the question.
The cash isn't enough to pay living costs.
Actually,
But
if
if
you
you're
want to think
playing-
about,
Yeah.
Sorry,
if you want to think
Musi,
about
you say
draft pick,
first?
right? Actually, it's quite true that draft pick say it's too small. Even though the government want to support, right? There's not enough reason as well, because right now you see the current state of the esports globally, right? League of Legends are like companies from like TSM, Cloud9, CLG are like selling their spots to a company because they don't have enough income to like support this kind of ecosystem in the long run. Like even I think last few years ago there was JJ Lin had a team called Team SMG.
He still has it, one man.
JJ
He
is
still
not
has
team.
it
JJ
but
was team SMG, meh?
SMG,
yeah,
yeah.
Oh.
yeah, but they have it but apparently it didn't do well. So
I mean,
there's
Xiaoxue also
no,
had a team, I remember.
yeah.
I think AMT or something, yeah. It was a MLBB team.
But apparently the SMG is not really doing well, so it's like solely no news cover about it, right? So even though I say it's difficult, right?
It is a very difficult topic to talk about.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's not that people are not like players are not trying to have a breakthrough in esports. Even if we have a breakthrough in esports, what is the government doing for these people?
Yeah.
Like we have a breakthrough in sports alone. What is the government doing?
I don't know, come and clap for you.
Come and clap for you, then that's about it. Right?
Yeah.
Like our biggest success story in terms of Olympics,
Joseph Schooling.
Joseph Schooling. And the only reason why he's successful is because he has a father who has enough money to support this expensive training regimen for his son.
Yep.
That's basically the only reason why he's so successful in
Yep.
Singapore.
And then when he won, he came back to he came to Singapore, and then he went to Parliament, and they just all clapped for him.
So you want to talk about
didn't do
money?
Yeah.
You want to talk about money? The money is there. It's readily available in esports. But what is the government doing to help people in esports grow in their own country? Nothing.
And I guess when you talk about cash not being enough to cover living costs, right? We have to look at other countries as well and see what they're doing. I know they have more people. I know that they have a lower cost of living. I know that government got more money to throw, but they're throwing the money. China, especially hardcore AF with the Dota teams. Though
PSG, LGD.
it's a crazy career to have. I've seen videos of it. They just wake up, play, nighttime, sleep. Wake up, play, nighttime, sleep. It's actually very tiring. My government is supporting, giving housing, giving food, giving everything.
Yeah, that's one thing I didn't know about, but yeah.
Other countries also, they have that support. Singapore, for some reason, no one. That is what's the funniest thing. That's the funniest thing. They'll be like, why are we failing at this? We have done absolutely nothing. I have no idea why we are failing.
What? And then they question, why are people leaving our country? What have we done for people to leave our country?
Yeah, why did ISI decide to leave Singapore and play for China instead?
I don't know, man.
So there's a lot of things lah. You can say yes, there's a lot of
There are a lot of
technicalities. There are a lot of technicalities that don't work in our favor. It's expensive. The money will be not enough. But isn't it the same for all the other countries as well? Why are they doing? Why are they able to do the same? Why is Singapore not able to try to compete at least? Why can Singapore say in terms of actual sports, they want to win you want to qualify for the World Cup in 2034, but you proceed to not provide any support for football development, and then you lose 7-0 to Malaysia. So like,
Is it actually 7-0 like all ages or is it under 17?
under 22.
Yeah, that's youth. Alright.
But 7-0.
This reminds me of Brazil.
You just think, alright, how bad Singapore's professional soccer team has to be, right? To go 7-0.
And sorry, go on.
Just compare with like your typical your worst Premier League team. Have they ever gone 7-0 before?
Yes.
Have
Easily
they
lah, easily.
ever gone 7-0 before? Like even if they
F is F lah.
die they are down bad, right? They maybe die maybe 3 or 4. And that's the best I give them. They will never go 7-0. They will never be that bad because their quality is already up there.
On a really bad day, yes.
On a really, really bad day, yes. But the chances of them being on a really bad day, right, is like so low. Like I've watched my friends support soccer for a very long time. I have never seen any team go lower than 3.
It's in 3 gap, right?
Like a 3 gap.
Yeah.
The most I've seen is maybe a draw or a straight up 2-0.
Damn, I've definitely seen a lot of exceptions to that case before, but yeah.
Like for me at least, I have never seen. But my point is that the gap between the two teams will never be
That big.
that big.
Yeah.
Like 7-0. Like if you're winning a team 7-0, right? How bad can you be? Especially if you're a Premier League team, you're being beaten by a
Top team.
a Premier League team fighting against another Premier League team, and they're getting beaten 7-0. Can you imagine how embarrassing that would be for a Premier League team?
I think this year it happened once or twice already. 7-1.
Yeah. Last year, right, I was googling, right, for a bit. That
But when it
last
happened,
year,
yeah, it was really
9-0.
embarrassing. Yeah, it happened. It was very embarrassing for the team, but obviously they don't get beat in the ass like that, like multiple times.
Yeah.
Usually,
Yeah, they don't get beaten in the ass multiple times like this.
and
Our team.
yeah. Now, our team is like, you get beaten 7-0 already, and it's not like it's a surprise result, it's just...
It's just like, just another day in the...
Yeah. I'm not angry, just disappointed. It's like...
I'm not even disappointed, it's just like expected result.
And then the angry, the part where you want to be angry about, at least for me, is more of why say that you want to support when you are not doing the supporting, kind of thing. And that's just for me lah. And I was supposed to be the facilitator for this, but I guess I'll give a bunch more other examples as well. I think it's more of also how our society functions right here in Singapore. It's like our parents. You tell them you want to play games, you see what they say. You tell them you want to do sports, you see what they say. You tell them you don't want to study, you want to be an artist, you want to be a musician, you see what they say. As long as you are not studying for O-level, as long as you are not studying hard for O-levels, A-levels, poly or whatnot, right? You're not trying to get the freaking uni cert, right? You see what they say. They're like, play some more. All these things you do cannot earn money one. Why you do this one? For what? Why you never study hard enough? Huh? And then suddenly, 20 years later, Singapore, entire culture entire culture and art scene underdeveloped.
And then the government asks, why our art scene not developing? We are putting so much resources into it.
Shock Pikachu face.
I don't know. Just hire develop foreign talents.
I mean, that's why nobody has prep for the table tennis team, one.
Alright.
Yeah.
Dude, what prep? No need to prep. You are fighting against our own people.
So like, what's the point then? So
the best part is all our talents are from China.
yeah.
All our Olympic talents are from China.
For table tennis,
Yeah, table tennis, swimming also got one China lady. I can't remember her name, but I know there's one.
Creativity
Then
fashion all got shut down hard. Yeah.
Singaporeans are
Singaporeans are just not talented in sports itself.
Or anything
now,
that's outside the norm.
there isn't many opportunity for them to develop.
Develop as well, yeah.
Only those who actually break the system and push for it on their own. Those are the one who actually make it in these niche fields, you know.
And there's several niche fields that we can even talk about also. I'll say it first. I'll say it after you say your stuff. Musi, go ahead first.
No, like how you say, even though it's, I think being this kind of sports related things like eSports or normal sports, right? I think it takes a special person to stick through it and like make it big. But the mental state of the person also must be strong, bro.
Yeah, because they have to push on
like,
despite all the resistance.
Yeah, which is like maybe this is why we have less talent as well.
Yep. Yeah, so anyway, sorry, just let me reply chat for a bit. Limbox, Yip Pin Xiu is swimmer or table tennis player? I don't actually remember.
Backstroke swimmer.
Backstroke swimmer, right.
I googled, so...
okay. So, besides playing for sport, you also work full time? No, when if you're a guy, right, you want to get good at sports, right, your peak...
You have to go through NS first.
You go through NS first. Your peak physical condition is actually during NS. But you go through NS, they whack you upside down, maybe you got an injury that you cannot reverse, and then you GG. Or you...
even if you come out, your muscle development is also different already.
Yeah, exactly. So, it's just not fair, but... we go out esports for a bit. We go into like our creative side, right? We got talk about streaming. Even with this streaming, right? You know what Singaporeans think about streaming these days? Not say these days lah, but I know what some people in Singapore think about streaming. Is I start video, I go on and advertise myself selling product on Lazada.
I mean, that's the same on TikTok, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, it's live now. Everyone's going on this.
Yeah, so like when streaming originally was, originally streaming wasn't really games, but a lot of people push for game streaming. So game streaming now is really the huge thing, right? When game streaming is popularly known as the huge thing around the world, Singapore somehow thinks that it is all about going online and selling products on online shopping. That's like what?
Welcome to my TikTok shop.
What the hell?
My TikTok shop. Today we will be opening
Milo 6 packs for $1.99.
Thanks.
Hey, serious.
The best ones are those that they sell like trading cards.
Oh yeah, they just open the card on cam. I got this card. Who want buy? How much? Live auction on the spot. Like what the fuck?
Oh right,
actually,
Singapore the gambling ad also right.
Is it cheaper to buy in auction actually?
That was
the kid and the father.
Yeah, that was their only advertisement for World Cup, by the way. It's don't gamble, not enjoy the World Cup. It's don't gamble.
Just one more time.
Just give
one more try.
I will win everything.
I'll give you all back.
Oh my god. Yeah.
You know me.
It's so fucked up, man.
I know what I'm doing.
I know what I'm doing.
It's just so fucked up, man, when you think about it. Like,
yeah.
It's right there. Your citizens are more than willing to put in the effort, right? To represent the country. And you just pull the rug out from under them. They rug pull their sports or esports or their dreams from under them. So it's like, make no sense. So yeah, sorry, unfortunately. I really would love for this to be a balanced discussion, but it's very difficult.
Oh no! Wong, not like this.
Yeah, unfortunately, I really wanted a balanced discussion. I also didn't want to participate in too much because I wanted it to be more me being a
we all agree that Singapore is not doing anything.
Yeah,
it's a cold hard truth that we all know.
Yeah,
and when I was one person that was
Hopeful.
hopeful. I actually back then
I was
back then,
hopeful and Zenith won.
I was part of a Rainbow Six team back then, and it was like a thing that I was trying out. It never succeeded, but it got me to realize it's not only the esports is not anything is being done. It's also the people, whether or not they have the drive to do it. And like I had the drive, but my teammates didn't. And long story short, they thought that I was the liability, and then they kicked me off.
Holy shit! I think I remember something like that. Yeah.
And basically, what happened was that even though they kicked me off, they tried to find a replacement, and long and behold, they could not find a replacement for me, and then the team disbanded.
Oh yeah.
So and before that, right, they actually kicked off our coach. The person that was holding basically there were two people that were holding the team together. One was my coach, and one was me. The only reason why, right, they were still disciplined enough, right, to do everything, to try to, work together as a team, right, was one, because of my coach, and two, because of me. Not solely because of me, but because of like at that time when we doing it, we all had a drive. But after like we had a leader replacement, and that leader had a very bad
ego
way of thinking. He had a very, let's just put it like, he was not very objective of how he's thinking, of his thinking, and he kind of like drove the team into a bad direction.
Mm-hmm.
And
bad mental state.
Yeah, and he was the one that got the coach kicked off because he thought that the coach wasn't helping. And then he was also the one who thinks that I was the weakest link. So, I mean, if you have to signal a problem, that alone, it depends on the people that you play with. And esports,
that's the life cycle of any esports team, isn't it?
Esports, as it is, it boils down to who you're playing with, and it is not even about whether or not you succeed. It's about how you succeed. That's important.
Yep, totally agree. Like whatever you said, right, actually sounds a lot like the life cycle of any esports team. To be completely honest, it's like it happens in like even the top of the top Dota teams around the world is people changing teams here and there, teams disbanding and so on and so forth. I think that's like part of a cycle of it, and it's unfortunate. It's definitely unfortunate that it happened to you in that manner, lah. But in a sense, that is also where we say it is what it is. At least on a very individual team level or individual experience level, this happens for every single esports team. Of course, the challenge for that then is, if one esports team goes down, where's the next one going to come up from? How is the next one going to come up? I don't think we have that foundation for any of these to happen. So it's a very rare time that we speak about esports on this channel, because let's be honest here, Games Expedition, we talk about all the games all around the world except for the super popular ones. Unfortunately, whether people like it or not, esports titles are the popular ones because they are so easily accessible, with the exception of Rainbow Six, because you need to pay money for that. But everything else is so easily accessible, right? Start off with, okay, I guess CSGO. In the past, Dota wasn't that accessible, but Dota 2 is free. CSGO, MLBB, League of Legends, now
even Valorant.
All these games are free. All these games are free. You just get it off the fucking Riot website or Steam or wherever. Apex is free as well. Just get it off the internet somewhere. You don't even need to pay money if you don't want to.
True.
The ones
the
that
charm.
are and even for those that are paid, right? R6, StarCraft 2. StarCraft 1 also actually still active lah. It's always active in Korea. StarCraft, Overwatch 2, 1 is no longer exist. Even for those paid ones, right? They
It's
also
free, right?
Yeah, free.
Overwatch 2 is free?
Overwatch 2
Yeah,
is
it's
free
free.
now.
Oh. Wait, I thought it was paid. Okay, never mind. Yeah, even all those games, right? Because of the natural competitive nature of them, right? They are already really ridiculously popular. So that is one of the main reasons why we don't cover esports title. If we realize throughout the history of our show, we always cover single or multiplayer experiences. Those that you pay a bit of money, you enjoy the game for 20 to 40 to 60 to 80 hours, or 100 even more, depending on how addicted you are, and then that's about it. Because those games are generally like, it's not competitive, it's not as accessible as esports titles, so therefore they are always going to be less popular. So sorry?
Can I add one more thing?
What?
Even like if it's accessible or what, in the end that game will end. So
The support
So
for that
in
game
it-
will end, right?
yeah, so you might lose your money out. You know,
Yeah. But games
even R6 probably if like maybe 10 years down will be
well,
like maybe not
considering
even-
considering
Actually, it's now that you said it, they actually plan to support the game 10 years down the road.
yeah.
They said it at one of their events that they plan to keep the game running for 10 more years.
Funnily enough, or maybe it's to be expected. R6 is actually one of Ubisoft's stronger titles.
It's one of their biggest titles.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it'll be suicidal for them to end support for that particular game, especially
Yeah.
when they need that game to actually support the rest of their projects.
There's still quite a few titles as well. Like Age of Empire 2 competitive is still
Yeah.
a very
Yeah.
active thing.
Yeah.
Even okay, then if you don't want to, okay, I'm not sure about this, but okay, like Lin over here also mentioned, Team Fortress 2 is still has ongoing support despite the release of Overwatch afterwards.
Uh-huh.
And of course, then there's also Left 4 Dead. Left 4 Dead is still a very popular title,
Yep.
despite it being for around for at least 14 years.
But is it more of an esports title or more of just a casual play title these days?
No, but
There should still be tournament, but I don't think there's really that much on the competitive esport part of the L4D. But as for the other titles that we actually bring up, Team Fortress 2 still has tournaments, and Age of Empire is definitely there's still tournaments going
Oh,
around.
definitely. I still watch some of them sometimes.
But
Yeah.
actually, those kind of games are like not dependent on the company's server. You know,
No,
you
it's
can
dependent.
just
It's
rent
fully
out.
dependent on community. Age of Empire 2
Yeah,
was
yeah.
carried by community 100%.
But
But
they
but Microsoft
they-
supported them.
they still had this. They are still having updates now.
Yes, Microsoft supported
Yeah.
them. They helped them to they create that
okay.
base because they recognize that the community was active, right? Microsoft themselves for Age of Empires 2, Microsoft themselves first made the AoE 2 definitive edition just a few months before they released AoE 4 also, by the way, which was their latest AoE game. So AoE that game
correct.
AoE 2 definitive edition is still getting regular updates and balance changes and new classes.
Wait,
New
seriously?
factions. Yeah, new classes. So
Yeah, new countries now.
there are new countries. So you see what you can do. If you can see you see what kind of magic you can make, right? If there is a dedicated community and something or somebody who is willing to support that dedicated community. Which is something, you know what? Let's end this on a high note, shall we? Which is something that actually in our own small way, perhaps we can do as well. You guys want to do esports, guys? You want to do esports? Come, we do a tournament. I'm just kidding. We do a small little showcase.
Okay, SG Shiva's tournament coming up.
Let's go, boy. Okay, we'll talk to you about that after the show. But anyway, you know, as
body Tony.
I mean, when I start GE, sometimes yes, it's about showing. Also, I'm gonna just cut off this topic right now. It's about showcasing games that people don't know, but it's also showcasing how people can have fun playing games. And even though yes, esports can be a popular title, but sometimes you want to do a little bit of showcase. Sometimes you just want to do a nice little session of people having fun. You know, maybe I do something like that as well. Something that I've always thought about in my mind. So yeah, think about it, guys. Anyway, we are actually out of time. That's why I need to cut it off here. And yeah, we had quite a bit of we went through quite a few topics, talk about quite a bit of things as well, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see you Wong down there. Like, oh, I'm tired already. I just want to go back to sleep.
No, actually, it's fine. I'm just stoning at this point.
Yeah, totally fine. Yeah, it's of course we're gonna end it now. And well, that was our show with Wong. We learned a little bit more about him, his life as
Mentalist.
a mentalist. His R6 his dedication to
journey.
R6.
Yeah.
And more, as you can see from the rest of our topics, talking about lurking in Twitch and of course esports here in Singapore. So expect more interesting things in the future as well. And in our next show, which is our flagship show, we'll be having a new face. Well, we've seen that new face before, but only for Spaced Out. You'll have a new face for the flagship show, and I think we'll be having a slightly different series of games this time around. So I hope you guys look forward to it. And for now, we are going to call it a day. So if you guys enjoy our content, do feel free to follow everybody down here. We have Wong, we have Musi, we have FP. You can see we have our Twitch and Twitter handles there. So please do feel free to follow them at their Twitch and their Twitters, and follow them for their individual content. FP does plays whatever the hell he wants. Actually, most of us play whatever the hell we want. Wong usually does R6. I usually play JRPGs and other indie games, so also whatever the hell I want.
Just FYI, guys, I do play other games than Rainbow Six. Just I play Rainbow Six a little bit too much.
Well, I mean, to be fair, you do know quite a bit about other games, based on my interactions with you.
I
gotta give it to you.
I do watch a lot of people, so that's how I know a lot about other games as well.
Yeah. So definitely follow Wong. He's and definitely an entertaining guy as well. And yeah, other than that, oh, hi Wong, hi Auntie. So let's call it a day, shall we? And guys, this has been the Games Expedition, and this will be goodbye for now.